dito sa ating discussion. Nandito na tayo sa chapter 4 kung saan i-discuss natin yung ating tissues. Okay. So as an overview of our topic, so here like this one, what can you say or what comes to your mind kung naririnig nyo yung word na tissues? So this is also a continuation sa ating recitation. Any ideas?
Ano, sir? Parang yun.
Sige, Miko.
Sir, pamuna sa kamay.
Okay, so that is the other tissue that we know. How about the other? Lorraine?
Sir, group of cells.
Group of cells. Okay, that's a nice idea. How about Kreia Paragas?
Supportive po.
It is used for support?
Support po para ano po, maging matatag po yung isang tao.
Okay, how about Charlene? Ibasan. Yeah, sure.
Ano po, sir? Function. Let's function together as unit po.
Okay, very good. And last one, do we have other hands? What can you say about tissue? Okay, Angelica.
Tissue act as coverings controlling the movement of materials across the surface po.
Okay, so ito yung parang pinaka-covering ng ating body system. Okay, 1G ba si Angelica?
1K po, sir.
Okay, sorry. Ventanilia. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's move here. Let's have first your chapter 4, what is tissue all about? Okay, so a while ago, napag-usapan na natin yung first chapter is about human organism, and then nag-transition tayo sa cells, and then yung chemistry, you will learn more of that doon sa inyong biochemistry. So this time, yung third level ng human is all about your tissues. So what is tissues all about? We've defined this one as a group of cells with similar structure and function plus extracellular substance. Doon sa ating first chapter, we already introduced this one. But during this time, we will be learning more this in details. Okay? So that is all about your tissues. And then if you already encountered, if you went to the hospitals, and then yung may mga kamag-anak tayo na merong nagkaroon ng incision or yung operation, then sinasabi ng doctors, oh, we will send you, your tissue on histology department. Parang ganon. Maybe some of you narinig nyo na, for histology ito, yung sinasabi ng mga doctors minsan. Okay, sinasabi nila yan, it's because in that department, they're going to study actually our tissues. So, i-check nila kung yung tissue ba nito or cancerous or hindi, kung benign or malignant. Okay, and that is your histology, the study of tissues. Now, let's go here. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na 4 na types of your tissues. Now, kung magko-concentrate kayo dun sa 2, 3, and 4, connective, muscular, nervous. Sabi niya, with the word alone, you can actually, yes, Weya. Weya, you're raising your hand.
Sorry po.
Okay. Now, let's go back. With 2, 3, and 4, connective, muscular, and nervous, pag nakita nyo na yung word na yun, you already know or you will already have an idea of its function. Ano ang magiging function ng tissue na ito? Kung connective, it means kinoconnect niya sa iba. Pag muscular, it means like more on support. And pag nervous, sa mga nervous system natin. Okay? But first, we will discuss first your epithelial tissues. You can follow through actually with this one using your book. Okay, meron tayong libro. And yung location nito, it cover the body. Pwede itong internal, pwede rin itong external. Okay? If you were going to touch yourself, your body, your skin is an example of your epithelial tissues. Makikita din yan sa ating kidney, trachea, and other glands. Now, let's characterize yung ating epithelial tissue. Sabi dito, the cells are close together. Kumbaga, compact sila. Okay? And form most of the glands. And meron din silang tinatawag na free surface. Later on, ma-distinguish natin yung free surface. And meron din tayong tinatawag dito na basal surface. Ito yung nag-attach doon sa epithelial cell, tapos yung underlying tissue. We have illustration here. Okay. Nakikita niyo yung image?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, kung nakikita niyo ito, this part, yung part ng ating lungs, yung itong pleura, tapos meron siyang microscopic picture dito. Ayan. So, itong nakikita natin na ito is from our pleura. And this part here, ito yung tinatawag natin na free surface. Usually, ito yung walang mga cells, yung free surface. Then ito kanina, yung nabanggit natin is yung basement membrane. Ano na ulit yung basement membrane natin? Ito yung?
Basal surface po, sir.
Oh yeah, basal surface. Siya yung nag-a-attach ng anyone? Do you still remember yung base?
Epithelial cells.
Epithelial cells. Okay. Now let's go here to the next one. So ito yung microscopic image natin ng ating epithelial cell, epithelial tissue. Now, okay, so let's go here with your functions of epithelial cell. Okay, how about let's have a reading portion on this part. Kreia, what are your functions of your epithelial tissues? Ms. Baragas, kindly read.
Function of epithelial tissues: 1. Protect ex-skin. 2. Act as a barrier. Ex-skin keeps bacteria out. 3. Diffusion and filtration. X lungs and kidneys. 4. Secretion. X sweat glands. 5. Absorption. X small intestine.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's go to Ms. Salazar. Ano yung first name ni Salazar?
Ma'am, Sir Christine po.
Okay. Christine Salazar. So, sa tingin mo, paano na-protect ng ating epithelial tissue yung ating skin?
Sir, wala po ako idea.
Okay, that's okay. How about the others? How do epithelial tissues protect the skin? Okay, Ms. Paragas.
Function of epithelia. The function of epithelia are protecting underlying structure. Example included the outer layer of the skin in the epithelium of the oral cavities, which protect the underlying structure from absorption.
Abrasion.
Sorry po.
Okay, that's okay. Abrasion is yung gasgas, yung kapag pag nadapa ka or something. So actually, para maprotektahan more yung mga underlying na mga muscles or tissues or organs natin, yan yung main function ng ating epithelial cells. Okay, next naman, sinabi niya dito na act as a barrier. Okay, kumbaga filter nito yung pumapasok na pumapasok na water sa ating skin, tapos nire-reduce din niya ito yung ating water loss. Okay? And also here, permitting the passage of substances. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng yung kumbaga yung exchange ng oxygen and carbon dioxide natin sa katawan through also blood diffusion and epithelium in the lungs, something like that is na proprotektahan ng ating epithelial cells, and also with your secretion and your absorption. Okay. Now, punta naman tayo dito. Paano naman natin i-classify yung ating epithelial cells? So, meron tayo dyan according dun sa number ng cell layers tapos yung shape nitong ating cells. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na simple and stratified. Ito yung number of cells layers natin. Tapos, meron din naman tayong yung shape, meron tayong squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and transitional. Mostly naman dito is pag nakita mo na yung shape nito, ma-identify mo na ano lang yan, simple squamous lang yan. Parang parang stratified columnar. So ang gusto ko na gawin niyo here is you familiarize yourself doon sa shapes ng ating epithelial cells. Okay? I hope meron na kayong libro kasi everything is in our book and you can actually see that one there. Now, let's discuss first yung sinasabi nating simple epithelial. Simple lang siya kasi one layer lang siya ng cells. Yung stratified naman is many layers of cells. Yun lang yung tatandaan ninyo. Pag simple, isa lang. Pag stratified, madaming layer ng cells. Okay, how about your simple squamous here? Now, structure niya is one flat lang siya, parang tiles. And then yung function nito is for diffusion and filtration. Do you still remember what's the meaning of diffusion? Anyone from the class? Katrina.
Ay, sorry sir, nakamute po pala.
That's okay.
Ano po sir, yung diffusion po is yung movement po from an area with higher concentration po to lower concentration.
Okay, thank you very much. So yan yung isa sa mga function ng ating simple squamous epithelial tissue. Paano naman yung ating filtration? May idea ba kayo with this term? Anyone from the group? Charlene.
Ano po sir, movement of fluid through a partition with holes?
Okay, it is also a movement of fluid. Ryan Earl.
Separation po ng substance gamit ang isang medium.
Okay, it is actually so that you can actually see or you can actually have the you can actually have the you can actually see yung product. Okay, na-filtrate natin using a medium. Okay, so usually we can actually see the simple squamous in the blood vessels, in the lungs, in the heart, and the kidney. That is why whenever a patient is urinating, nafi-filter natin yung blood tapos yung urine sa ating kidney. Parang gano'n. And then also yung blood natin tsaka doon sa ating lungs. So mostly yung mga tissues doon na composition ng ating organs is simple squamous. How about your simple cuboidal? Ito naman is one layer of square-shaped cells. Tapos usually this one is for secretion. Okay? And pag sinabi nating secretion, usually nakikita ito sa ating glands. Ito yung mga nagsisecrete ng mga ginagamit natin sa katawan. And also sa ovary. And also sa ating kidney. Okay? So, to sum up, it's something like this. Kung nakikita ninyo, okay, this one is a simple squamous epithelium. So kung this one, single layer lang siya, tapos flat. Okay? Pag nakita nyo ganyan, you can actually identify this one. This is this is simple squamous epithelium. So you should be aware doon sa description ng ating mga words kanina. And this one is cuboidal. Kung nakikita nyo, para siyang cubes. Parang nor cubes yung kanyang shape. Okay? Para doon sa term yan na cuboidal. And usually again, ito yung sa mga secretion dito. For secretion and absorption ng ating katawan. How about yung columnar tapos yung pseudo-stratified? Pag columnar naman, ito yung one layer pero mataas, matangkad siya, pero narrow. Okay? Yung ito naman is more on absorption also. Tapos nakikita natin usually ito sa ating stomach, intestines, and also respiratory tract. We also have your pseudo-stratified. Pseudo means fake. So para siyang stratified columnar pero hindi siya stratified columnar talaga. Okay, this one is one layer tall, narrow cells and appears stratified, but actually they are not. Okay, usually this one is, you can see this one in your nose, in your nasal cavity, and also in your trachea. Tingnan natin. Okay, ito yung ating simple columnar epithelium. Kung nakikita, kung babalikan natin yung description natin dito, single lang siya, pero matangkad. So it is tall and narrow. Okay? Clear ba ito?
Yes po.
Okay, so it is tall but narrow, and usually nakikita natin ito sa linings ng ating stomach tapos ng ating intestines. Well, this one, ito yung pseudo-stratified. Kung nakikita ninyo, single layer din. These are tall and thin. Tapos sinasabi niya kanina, hindi naman talaga siya stratified. Okay? Usually here, makikita niyo dito sa may trachea hanggang sa may bronchus ng ating katawan. So we also have your stratified squamous. Flat din ito, parang tile, and pinoprotect naman ito yung ating and it is usually function as the barrier of our body. Location here is in your skin, on our mouth, throat, and esophagus. Your transitional naman, from the word transitional, ito yung special type of stratified epithelial that changes actually the shape. It is stretch squamous but not stretch cuboidal. Usually ito sa ating urinary bladder. Kasi di ba kung minsan pwede nating pigilan yung ating pag-ihi. And in order, kasi nga naiipon yung tubig sa ating urinary bladder and nag-i-expand yung ating urinary bladder. Yung tissue doon na pwedeng maka-hold ng fluid is your transitional. Okay? Clear? Okay, so ito yung ating stratified squamous epithelium. And ito naman yung ating transitional epithelium na pwedeng mag-hold ng fluid sa ating katawan. Okay, how about naman itong tinatawag natin na free cell surfaces? Ito yung surface not in contact with other cells. These are smooth to reduce friction. Example is yung ating blood vessel. Okay, and you already familiarized with microvilli. Pag sinabing micro is maliit, and villi is like a used for movement. This actually increase your cell's surface area and usually in your small intestine. While your cilia, minumove naman ito yung bigger materials across our surface. Example is yung trachea that can actually help us during our food ingestion. Yung goblet cells naman, ito yung sa ating stomach yung nagpo-produce ng mucus for um, more movement of our body, of the food that we ate. Okay. This one, we have your connections. Diretso na lang tayo dito sa picture. Nakikita nyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, dito, we need to define what is your tight junction here. Meron din tayong tinatawag na desmosome, yung hemidesmosome, and meron din tayong gap junction dito. Nakikita malinaw?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. So let's start here. Itong desmosome na ito is actually ginagamit ito para i-bind yung ating cells. Okay? Para mag-bind together itong cells. That is what we call your desmosome. While here, dito sa baba, medyo malapit na sa basement, same function pero tinatawag natin ito na hemidesmosome. Clear tayo doon? Pag dito sa taas, desmosome. Pag dito sa malapit sa baba, we call hemidesmosome. Okay? Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay, same din dito sa taas naman, yung tinatawag nating tight junction dito. It is actually a bind na adjacent na doon sa cell natin and form permeability barriers. It is actually a bind na adjacent na hello. Naririnig ko yung sarili ko.
Hala, sorry sir,
Okay, that's okay. Ayan. So also with the gap junction, so ang nangyayari dyan is yung kinoconnect nila actually yung ating mga cells. Ito yung ating cell connections. And glands. Okay. So any idea what are our glands and their most likely yung functions? Okay, let's put back this one here. Okay. Anyone from the class? What do you think is a gland and anong ginagawa nito sa ating katawan? Ryan.
Hormone excretion po, sir.
Hormone excretion or secretory hormones, parang ganon. Okay, Charlene.
Ano po, sir? Supporting network of connective tissue.
Probable. That's possible na yun yung isa sa mga functions ng ating glands. Okay. Sino yung isang nag-raise na nga? Angelica.
Glands produce and release substance that perform certain functions po.
Can you give me an example? An example of a gland, tapos kung ano yung pinuproduce niya.
Thyroid gland po.
Yung thyroid. O, yung thyroid natin, yung nagproproduce ng thyroid gland. Parang ganon? Or paano? Okay, how about the others? Can you give me an example of gland?
Exocrine gland, sir.
Ayun, exocrine gland.
Sir, endocrine gland po.
Or endocrine gland. Okay, so we actually have this these examples here. So para saan ba yung gland at anong ginagawa nito sa ating katawan? They're actually structures that secrete substances onto a surface, into a cavity, or into a blood. So it can actually secrete substances directly inside our body, but other glands can be excreted outside of our body. And we have here terms like your exocrine and your endocrine. Again, ulitin natin, pag sinabi natin exo means going out, pag endo, going inside. Example ng exocrine gland natin, yung glands with ducts. So, in meaning to say, meron silang portal going outside. So example natin is yung sweat glands. If we are doing some exercises or if we are stressed or nagugutom tayo, sometimes natitrigger yung ating sweat glands. So nagkakaroon tayo ng sweat or perspiration. Now, itong substance na ito is directly pwedeng lumabas sa ating katawan. Maybe example also is yung sa ating lacrimal gland. Okay, yung lacrimal gland, ito yung kapag lumuluha ka or naiiyak ka. So, it can actually go out yung tears natin. Pag sinabi naman nating endocrine gland, ito naman is wala siyang duct. So, wala siyang portal going out. So, directly na siya sa ating bloodstream. So, parang kanina, yung example natin is yung thyroid, yung thymus, pituitary gland. Klaro tayo dito sa part na to?
Apo, sir.
Okay, very good. Exo, outside, endo, inside. Now, let's go here. So, meron tayong tatlong ways dito naman ng exo kung paano nakaka-exit. Kung paano nakaka-exit yung mga substances sa ating katawan. So, meron tayong merocrine gland, and apocrine, and we also have your holocrine gland. So, these are being utilized so that the substances that is secreted by a certain gland can go outside or can go out. Okay? You can actually read more of this one on our book. And let's go here. So we have your types of exocrine gland. We have simple, compound, tubular, and your alveolus. So from the term itself, you can already picture kung paano yung itsura nito or paano yung description nito. Okay, example is this. This one is an example of simple tubular. Okay? It looks like a tube, but it is simple. Okay? Ano ba yung description natin ng simple? Walang branches. Okay? And here, tubular, it has an duct here. Okay, walang branch ito. It looks like a tube. It looks like a tube, but it doesn't have an end duct. So, it is termed as your simple tubular. While this one, kung titingnan ninyo, may mga sanga-sanga siya. Okay? It is also tubular, pero may sanga-sanga. But this time, we will call this one as your compound tubular. So as simple as that. And how are we going to distinguish simple and compound? Okay, now let's go here. Connective tissues. Okay, can you help me read this part? Mary?
Sir?
Can you help me read this one? What is your connective tissues characteristics?
Connective tissues characteristics. Cells far apart contain large amount of extracellular matrix, classified based on type of extracellular matrix and functions. Example, glass cells build, glass cells carve. Extracellular matrix contains three components in varying amounts: protein fibers, ground substance, fluid, ground substance, proteins, and sugar.
Okay, thank you. So basically, these are the characteristics of our connective tissue. So if you're going to focus on the bold part there, it says that it is classified based on type of your extracellular matrix and function. So meron tayong tinatawag na blast cells build and your class cells carve. We will learn more of this one on the succeeding slides. Okay, thank you very much for that. And let's move here. Types of protein fibers. Siguro narinig nyo nito, collagen fiber, reticular fiber, and elastic fiber. Okay. Now, if pag sinabi natin na collagen fiber, it looks like ropes and are flexible but resist stretching. While yung reticular naman, ito yung supporting network that fills spaces between organs and tissues. And elastic, it means from the word itself, elastic, na i-stretch natin ito. And here, functions of connective, functions of connective tissue. Can someone help me read this one? Okay. Zion?
Functions of connective tissue. Number 1, enclose and separate. Example, around organs and muscles. Number 2, connect tissues. Example, tendons, connect bone to muscle. Example, ligaments, connect bone to bone. Number 3, support and movement. Example, bones.
Thank you. Nakamute pala ako. I'm sorry. So we have your enclose and separate dito na tissue. So example nito yung connective tissue na nagse-separate ng ating muscles, ng ating arteries and veins. Okay? So merely ang function nila is sineseparate lang nila yung organ tapos yung muscle. Well, the other one here, we have your connecting tissues. Okay? So it's like basically it's connecting one tissue to another. Okay? Familiar kayo with tendons kapag kumakain kayo ng chicken?
Yes, sir.
And also ligaments?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So basically, you already saw this one and you already know this one. So yung tendons, ito yung nagko-connect ng bone sa muscle. While yung ligaments naman, ito yung nagko-connect ng bone to bone. So if there is an actual chance that you will eat chicken or anything na meron yung part na ganito, you can actually check kung saan yung nagko-connect doon sa bone, doon sa muscle, tapos yung bone to bone. That's the time that you can actually distinguish yung tendons sa may ligaments. Okay, are we clear?
Apo.
Now we also have here support and movement. Of course, these are for your bones. How about the next part here? Okay, any volunteer? Okay, Kalisar, Edralin.
First, we have a storage. Example, bones store calcium and adipose tissue stores fat. Number 5, cushion and insulate. Example, adipose tissue protects organs and helps conserve heat. Number 6, transport. Example, blood. And number 7, protect. Example, immune cells.
Okay, thank you very much, Edralin. So here in your connective tissue, this is the continuation of its functions. So dun sa number 4, sinabi niya is for storage. Ano ba yung pwedeng ini-store ng ating connective tissue? So meron tayong tinatawag dito na adipose tissue or yung ating tinatawag na fat. So kayang i-store yan actually doon. Okay, and there are also other molecules or minerals like calcium and also your phosphate na pwedeng i-store ng ating connective tissue. Next one is for cushion and to insulate. Okay, kasi nga meron tayong mga delicate organs. Kumbaga yung heart natin, yung lungs, yung internal organs, yung ating connective tissue, they help them to cushion it so that it can be protected if merong mga banggaan or merong mga accident na mangyayari. And insulating, it means has something to do with the heat. Okay. And the next one here, we have your transport. The connective tissue is helping with the transport of our blood. Okay, not just merely the blood, pero nag-help din siya sa ating gas exchange, pagte-transport ng ating nutrients, ng enzymes sa katawan, at saka ng hormones. And protect, of course, here protecting is because the cells of the immunity system and blood actually pinoprotect yung katawan natin from toxins and also tissue injury. So these are your main functions of connective tissue. Okay, so you can actually, we have here a table about the classification of your connective tissue. And please learn this one on your book. And we have here types of ordinary connective tissue. We have loose, and we have the other one is dense and adipose. So let's start here with the loose. Location here is between organs, muscles, glands, and skin. And usually it is collagen fiber far apart, and the function of this one is for support and protect, as you can see here on this part. And the other one is your dense. From the word itself, pag narinig nyo yung dense, parang kumbaga parang matigas or hindi siya yung malambot. So this is more on your tendons, ligaments, and the skin. So main function nito is it connect and can withstand pulling forces. While your adipose naman is under the skin and also around your organs. It is collagen, and usually meron itong adipose tissue. Kaya nga tinawag na adipose, it's because it is composed of your lipids. Functions for storage and insulate cushion. Okay, example nito is this one, yung ating dense connective tissue. If you can see this area here, and then this part here. While this one, ito yung another example na nakikita naman ito sa ating mga vocal area. Okay, an example of your loose connective tissue is your mammary gland, o yung sa female natin, this one, it is composed of adipose tissue. Okay? And your cartilage. Kanina na pag-usapan na natin what is your cartilage all about, and we already have an idea of what it is. But your cartilage is actually a type of connective tissue and composed of chondrocytes and contains your collagen, can withstand compression, provide support, flexibility, and strength. Okay, we're almost done. So can you help me here? Anyone from the group? Miss Kilantang, Reka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are your types of cartilages?
Types of cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Location covers ends of bones, structures some collagen fibers, and its function is it reduces friction or cushion. Second is fibrocartilage. Location between vertebra. Structure lots of collagen fibers, and its function is it can withstand compression.
Okay, very good. And we actually have another one, which is your elastic cartilage. So from the word itself, it is elastic. It means nabibinat natin ito. Okay, hyaline, makikita natin usually ito sa end ng bone. Yung fibrocartilage naman between ng ating vertebra, dun sa ating spinal column. like this one. This is an hyaline. As you can see here on our knee, this is the bone, and then this is the bone. And here, this part, this is actually your hyaline cartilage. Okay. While here, okay, this one, your fibrocartilage, this is where we can actually see in our spinal column. And here, elastic cartilage, if you're going to feel your ear, parang may mga buto dyan or tissues na nafe-feel ninyo at na-stretch natin. Ito yung pinipingot ng ating mga parents. That is your elastic cartilage. Okay, now how about bones? Okay, anyone who have idea how many bones do we have as an adult?
2, sir.
270?
Yes.
260?
200,
206,
206,
sir.
206 po.
206.
206.
206 po.
206.
Okay.
206, sir.
The answer is 206. But sinong mas madaming bones? Tayong adults or newborns?
Newborn.
Newborns.
Okay, why is that newborns have more bones compared to adults? Any idea why is that? Mas madaming bones ang baby kaysa sa mga adult? Yes, Ricky.
Kasi sir,
Kasi sir, hindi po nagdudugtong.
Ay, hindi pa nagdudugtong? O, pwede. Monica.
sir, by adulthood, you've lost 60% of your bones.
Oh, wow. That is right. Ryan?
Kasi po hindi pa po na-specialized yung mga buto nila.
Hindi pa na-specialize. Okay. Philin?
Kasi po, babies have more cartilage than bones. Tama po ba, sir?
That's possible. Okay. John Paul?
Sir, kasi hindi pa nare-replace yung mga bones nila. Actual bone. Hindi pa nare-replace.
Okay. Okay. So,
Hindi pa siya nagpo-form as one bone.
hindi pa siya nag-form as one bone. Kumbaga, hindi pa siya nag-fuse.
Yes,
Kumbaga,
yes.
together with other bones na kailangang ma-develop. That is why babies are so fragile, and we always, when we carry them, it should be with appropriate care palagi. Kasi nga, not all of their bones are actually developed. So when they grow older, eventually nag-fuse yung ibang bones nila with other bones para maka-form ng specialized bones. Parang sinabi kanina ni Mr. Fernandez. So ganun yung nangyayari. Kaya mas marami pa rin silang bones compared sa atin. Are we clear with this one? Okay. Philin, naka-raise ka pa ng hand?
Tapos na po, sir. Kanina po.
Okay. So we have here your bone. So meron tayong hard connective tissue, and we actually have your two types, which is your compact and your spongy bone. And it is composed of your osteocytes. You probably learned this one already in your previous class, but we will learn more about this one in our skeletal system. And you will learn more of this one also on your nutrition and dietetics. Okay, so bone is actually, we all know it is hard, and yung ibang bones natin are actually soft. Do you know what is your smallest bone in the body? Do you have idea?
Ear po.
Yes, Rachel?
Sir, di po ako sure sa name po, pero asa ear po siya.
Okay, so actually nandun sa, okay, anyone? Adrenaline.
Stapes po ba, sir?
Yung stapes, actually meron tayong tatlo na smallest bone. Yung isa doon is yung stapes. Can you name the other two? Anyone?
Sa middle ears po ba, sir?
You can actually see it inside your ear. Anong isa?
Incus, sir.
And how about the last one?
Body
Malleus.
What is the last one?
Malleus.
Okay.
Body malleus, sir.
So they are actually located inside our ears. So we have your stapes and yung ating malleus. Tapos, ano yung isa natin?
Incus.
Incus. Okay. How about yung longest bone sa ating katawan?
Femur, sir.
Okay. So, yung ginagamit natin sa paglalakad, it is actually, we actually pronounce that one as your femur. Okay, so these are your bones, and we can actually move here. So supporting connective tissue bone, that is, as you can see here, if you happen to eat ano na yung food na may mga buto-butong ganitong kalaki?
Bulalo, sir.
Bulalo, yun, tama, thank you. If you happen to eat bulalo, as yung nabuksan yung bone ng ganito, you can actually feel it. Pwede nyong i-feel yung surface ng bulalo. So it's like that. It's like spongy. And then sa loob is yung compact, and then meron yung bone marrow na pwede ninyong kainin. And here, the blood, it is the liquid connective tissue. We have your erythrocyte, leukocytes, platelets. They transport your food, oxygen, waste, and your hormones. We will learn more about this one in detail as we go along with your cardiovascular system. Okay, so example is this one. The red one is your RBC, and the white one is your WBC, and do we have platelet here? Okay, so this is your RBC and your WBC. And here, muscular tissue, skeletal, nucleus, it has many. Location in your peripheral, striated, it is yes. Yung cardiac natin, one nucleus or nuclei centrally. It is striated. Your smooth organs, central, it's not striated. So you can see here, this is our muscle tissue. Okay. So this is your skeletal muscle fiber. Now they are densely packed together, that is helping us to move and to have a nice form. And this is the muscle tissue in our heart. And we call that as your cardiac muscle, that is usually helping us to pump the blood all over our body. Okay, and it is happening all throughout. It doesn't stop even though we are sleeping. Our heart is still pumping, and that is your cardiac muscle. We also have your smooth muscle. Usually ito nakikita naman ito sa mga walls or linings ng ating stomach, and also sa ating mga intestine. Okay, and lastly, we have here your nervous tissue. Yung nervous tissue naman, pag sinabing nervous tissue, automatic ang pupunta sa isip natin is yung nervous system natin. Yung ating brains, yung ating spinal cord, yung ating nerves. So this one, it consists of neurons or nerve cells, yung ating nerve tissue. And nagko-control ito for body movement natin. And we also have your axons, dendrites. We have illustration actually here. As you can see, this one, this is a nerve tissue. And itong branches natin dito, may malapit here, we call that your dendrite. And then axon is this part, yung kanyang tail end, in which we're going to discuss more about this one. Okay, tissue repair. Do you think yung katawan natin has the ability to repair itself? Okay, like someone said yes. So, paano nare-repair ng katawan natin yung sarili niya? Parang ganyan. Is it possible? Or have you experienced that one already?
Ano yun, sir? Ulit.
Yung tissue repair.
Sir, yes.
Especially during our childhood, di ba? Yung lagi tayong nasusugatan. Tapos eventually nag-heal siya, tapos nag-regenerate. Oh, meron pala dito. It is called your regeneration. Ito yung cells of the same type develop, but it means it doesn't have scar. While your replacement, yung cell of a different type develop pero nagkakaroon ng scar. But both of this one is actually repairing our body. And next one here, inflammation occurs when tissues are damaged. Ito yung pamamaga. And this one signals the body's defenses, our white blood cells, to destroy foreign materials, and damaged cells to repair can occur. So this is actually an indication of if someone is actually injured. If you are injured and then eventually the site is being inflamed, the WBC of our body is actually being triggered para dumami sila, and or they will go directly to that site so that they can combat any bacteria that is happening there. So that is your inflammation. Now, chemical mediators here, they release after the injury and causes dilation of the blood vessels. So we have here your symptoms of inflammation. Now, it has actually Spanish term ata. Narinig nyo naman yung calor, dolor, yung mga ganong term. Narinig nyo na ba yun before? Or hindi pa? First time yung marinig yun? So here, your symptoms of inflammation, we have your redness, yung blood vessels natin is dilated, yung heat, if you're going to feel yung site ng injury medyo mainit, this is because due of the increased blood flow to that area. Swelling is nagkakaroon ng formation ng water or lumalaki yung ating site of inflammation. And of course, meron tayong nararamdamang pain. It's because on those parts, maybe we have many nerve endings that stimulates our brain, and then our brain will interpret it as your pain. And it can actually lead to your damage and your swelling. So this one, okay, these things, you can actually see this one on your book. So this figure is all about our tissue repair. So this is what is happening in our body. Okay, and it is exactly 5 p.m. and this is the last slide for this topic. So we actually finish it on time.